Is Molly's Game worth the 2 hours to go watch and sit through and listen to some lady talk about how she used to make a lot of money and she got caught? I'll let you know in this T.T.S review of Molly's Game. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another T.T.S review. I'm Mike Floyd, and today I'm reviewing Molly's Game. Molly's Game is the true story of Molly Bloom, a beautiful young Olympic woman. She was a Olympic class skier or something like that. I think it was like downhill skiing. And somehow she managed to get involved in the high stakes world of poker or something like that. She made a lot of money and got busted by the FBI. And then she wrote a book about it. This movie is starring Idris Elba, Jessica Chastain, Kevin Costner, and Michael Cera. And like I said, it's like 2 hours and like 20 minutes or something like that. It's a pretty long movie. But it is based on the actual true story of Molly Bloom. You can actually look her up, and there's a couple like documentaries on her, like legit documentaries on her. But like I was saying, the movie starts out with her showing out she used to be an Olympic class skier. She ends up getting hurt, moves to Cali, starts working as a waitress and as an office assistant, and then slowly gets involved in the world class or the high class world of poker. Ends up running her own show, and then since underground gambling is illegal, FBI steps in and they shut the whole operation down. So pretty much the whole movie was showing what happens after she got shut down and her going through her court trial in order to figure out what's going on. This movie is an adaptation of the book that came out called Molly's Game, written by Molly Bloom, the actual woman who was part of this thing. And it's a decent movie. I mean, I'm not one for super long movies. The movie, it did tend to drag on. I mean, at first it was like pretty fast paced. It went from Olympic skiing to gambling to her getting taken down. But like in between, they started throwing in like these little random little, I don't know, like little cutscenes, like breaking down like how poker actually works, what this character saw, or how this character was, bringing other people in for them to play. It just went into way too much depth about some characters that we wouldn't even see for like another couple hours anymore. Idris Elba, he was playing the lawyer of Molly Bloom, and it just seemed like he was in there for kind of like comedic effect. His character didn't really seem that important the entire time. I mean, yeah, he had like this nice little monologue during the the arraignment phase, trying to get her sentencing lessened. I mean, these are not really spoilers. Like, this is actual true stuff, and that was it. Everything else was just funny with him. It was, I mean, to be honest with you, the movie was actually pretty good. I mean, it was shot very well. I heard like this movie was Aaron Sorkin, the director, was his first actual production, and I think the budget was like $30 million, which is like not even that much. Like in movie world, that's pretty low. But it seems like they did what they had to do. I mean, Michael Cera was my favorite part of that whole movie. Like the character he played like this big time poker player who happened to be a movie star. They wouldn't actually say his real name. And he seemed like it to me, like it seemed very believable that Michael Cera was that person in real life. Like he was the person that was doing all that stuff. Jessica Chastain, she played the Molly Bloom very well. I mean, it was totally believable. I even like Kevin Costner's little. I like Kevin Costner as playing as her father. He was playing pretty much like a dirtbag. I mean, dirtbag of a guy who happened to be a psychologist. So it was just mainly like those little tiny cutscenes that kept throwing me off, because it would go from the present, then it'll just jump back into the past real fast, and some disjointed stuff. Me personally, I think it would have been better if they would just been straight linear. They would have went from, the skiing to the poker to her getting taken down to the court trial, just like bam, 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 boom. But now it was just like past, future, middle, like all over the place. It was like a quick Tarantino movie, like kind of watching it. The movie ended on a good note, and actually ended like halfway way it actually ended in real life. I mean, she ended up not going to jail. I mean, that's true fact. I mean, you could just check it. I mean, you could check anything, you could Google it, you'll find out. Like, this is an actual court case. Is the movie itself, I mean, it was a pretty interesting look into like high stakes poker for like celebrities and people with like a lot of money, because there was times where it was showing these people doing like $10,000 buy-ins, and then it was constantly just throwing more and more money on the table, where millions of dollars was getting put up for these games, It was also showing how people, like even people with like a lot of money, can break once they lose everything. So that was pretty interesting to see. And it was just like, I know they couldn't really go super deep into it, but it would have been nice to know exactly who these people were. I mean, I've read little articles that like Tobey Maguire was involved, Leonardo DiCaprio was involved, so that was pretty cool to see. So I honestly would give this movie 3 out of 5 stars. I mean, it was a good movie. Me personally, I think it was just one of those one-time movies I'd watch and probably won't watch again. I probably won't rent it or see it on Netflix when it comes out. But I mean, it was a decent movie. I mean, it wasn't too over the top. It got to the point. I mean, for a adaptation of a biopic, I mean, it felt like a Lifetime movie, honestly, or something you see on Netflix. Some loosely like adapted translation and whatever those buzzwords that they use all the time. So it wasn't that bad. So like I said, I'll give it 3 out of 5 stars. So that's gonna be it for this review of Molly's Game. You know, you can help support the channel by liking, hitting the subscribe, and if you want to, hit the notifications. I mean, whenever we drop something new, we're gonna try to expand this channel a little bit more. You can follow me on Instagram at Michael Floyd 11, and I think that's the same thing. No, the Michael Floyd on Twitter. So until next time, guys.